I like Aqua Girl.
She was hot. The little belly
She was
nipple.
gonna be like, I think she was gonna be like Static's little girlfriend,
Yeah,
but I don't.
they kind of nixed that in the bud. I'm glad.
No, what's wrong with that?
Uh, I don't think. I don't think I want her to be tied to Static. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't think
What's
that's
wrong with
something
that?
I
You don't like the milestone brand?
you know,
You know
honestly,
what? Maybe that's not. All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of Another Relaunch. I am the firehead himself, Johnny Storm.
I am the Green Lantern Kilowog.
Oh, okay. All
Yes.
right.
Hmm?
Mr. Trainer. Okay.
Oh, is that what he does? I don't actually know. He's the pink one, right?
Yeah, he's like the Yes, he's like the pinkish, like big one. He trains all the new recruits.
Okay. Okay, so the thing was, I was actually going to be Deadpool because he showed up in this week's Captain America book, but then I was like, oh, I got on this Green Lantern shirt. I should be a Green Lantern character. And I was like, I didn't want, even though this is like John's silhouette, I was like, I feel like
Yeah.
you gotta be somebody else. And so I was like, oh, the only one whose name I know is actually Kilowall. And then I was like, oh,
How do you even know that?
I don't know actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, wait, no, you know what it is? Did you ever play the DC Universe Online game?
Yes, I did.
There's a mission with the Green Lanterns, and like Kilowog is a part of it.
Okay. That's okay.
Yes,
And he's probably the most like iconic alien Green
he's the
Lantern.
pink one. I know that like the hippo face thing.
Yeah. Yes, he do got a hippo face.
Yes,
Yes. But how are you?
I'm doing well. We're in a new month now, so that's like very
We are
exciting. Pride Month is over. There, I
July.
saw this. I saw this clip online of like these people. They were ripping down the like Pride Absolute insignia. And this boy's walking past, and he's just like, "Yes, Pride Month is over."
It's a lot. It's a
And
lot.
it was definitely, it was a lot going on, but it was an enjoyable month. It was an enjoyable end to the month. I'm excited to this see what July brings and hopeful abundance. Hopefully not too hot. DC's been very hot lately. It's supposed to rain all next week, which is great, so I'm hopeful for that. But like then it's gonna be hot again.
I'd like it to be a little bit warmer now out here. I want to go to pool parties and stuff for the summer, but it's been like
See,
mid 70s.
we don't really like get that here. We got like swamp heat, so it's like
Oh.
91 degrees, but it feels like 100 because the
Oh
humidity.
no.
It's like nasty. I went outside yesterday. I literally just had to go to the store, so I can walk to the store from my house. It's like a 8 minute walk, sweating down. It was
Oh,
disgusting.
absolutely not.
It was
No.
disgusting. I was like, oh, I'm not going back outside.
The heat out here is cute. It get cold at night. But out here is
No.
cute. um all right, well then let's go ahead and get up into these updates for the week. Not too much going on, some light stuff, but speaking of the Fantastic Four, I mentioned the Human Torch. There have been a leak of a potential Doctor Doom project coming from Marvel
Mm.
Studios. Now, this leak came from actually a hot mic from Howard Stern. Howard Stern, you know
He
him from the
still comes on.
radio. I guess so. I think he
That's
has his
great.
own like. Most people, I think, have their own like Sirius FM channel or something.
Okay, that
Some
makes
kind
sense.
of like. I'm sure he's got a deal somewhere. Um, and I guess they went to a commercial break, completely forgot that the mics were still on, and he's talked about how that he's going to be working on a Doctor Doom project next, and he's talking about his
Howard
schedule.
Stern.
And yes, so what that means for me is probably he's like a cameo in it or something, or I doubt he's like in it as an actual character, but I doubt that. but I'm sure he may have like a cameo of it, or you know how they sometimes have like the superheroes and like TV anchors or something would be talking about something
Mm.
that they did, or
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
know, someone on the radio would be like, "Oh my gosh, did you see that
Mhm.
Spider-Man did X, Y, and Z?" I'm sure he'll be doing something like that about Doctor Doom.
Well, that's exciting. I like Doctor Doom. I haven't read too much in the comics with him, but
Doom is
that's
goated, so I'm excited. He's probably one of my favorite villains, so I think he's
it'll be
excellent.
interesting
I'm
to
excited to see who they
see.
cast.
I was gonna say it'll be interesting to see who they cast and then like how they do the solo Doom story.
Yes, his ethnicity is important because that's like kind of what drives him to
Hmm.
kind of become Doom. So I do hope that they keep that accuracy. But you know, from what we've seen so far, the MCU, if it ain't that important, it ain't.
MCU does not really care, baby. They said you're gonna get what you get, and you're gonna like it. That's fine. Um,
Exactly.
Speaking of goaded, this isn't like new. Well, I guess this is kind of news. Did you see the preview for Dark Crisis 3 and the team that's coming back?
I did, yes. I did. I saw Doctor Fate and the JSA.
The JSA is here, baby. Everybody was
My girl
there.
Jade,
Wildcat,
Obsidian.
Jade, Obsidian. I like So for those who don't know, like I love Obsidian. Like when they talk
Why you roll
about
your eyes
gay,
at Jade?
when I talk about Obsidian, there is so much greatness there with him, and like he is also a gay character. He was like, you know how we all got those gays who we latch onto in comics. We're like, oh my god, they're like me. Obsidian was like one of my first ones, so I'm always excited to see him pop back up because he has been done very dirty. And then his daddy turned
Yes,
out
he
to be gay
has.
too, so it was like, oh, how did he want to exist?
Mhm. I thought that it was interesting when they like talked about that kind of briefly. I think in
Hmm.
it may have been a Pride issue,
I
Pride
think so,
special maybe
yeah.
a while ago.
Pride specials.
But I think that the JSA they deserve. I feel like they haven't figured out how to like integrate them all within the DC universe. At some point, the JSA was just on Earth 2. Then they were like, oh, well, they were actually the blueprint for the
Mhm.
JLA, and they came before them. So it's like,
Yeah, I
which
think
avenue do we really go with for them?
I think the beauty of I don't know if this is beauty. I just use that word, but like what DC is doing right now, especially since that Infinite, what was it called? Infinite Frontier.
Yes.
Yes, like with that whole thing and them really embracing the multiverse and like all the different heroes, I think they've just kind of said whatever. We'll just bring whoever back when we can. Just deal with it. The multiverse is our thing. It's here. We're going to use it. You want to see, I don't know, the golden eagle from like the 60s? Sure, we can bring him back because that universe still exists.
Cool.
And we just be
You know
like,
what? So I
I
think
like
sometimes
that
you just
character.
gotta lean into it. Go with it.
And that's
Otherwise,
really
how
all
else will
it
you get a
is.
lot of these characters?
Okay, because I personally am hoping for Mia Dearden and Lorena Marquez, aka Speedy and Aqua Girl. I need them to pop back on over.
Oh yeah,
Those
that
are
would be
my.
really cool. I liked
Okay.
Aqua Girl.
She was hot. The little belly
She was
nipple.
gonna be like, I think she was
Little,
gonna be like Stag's little girlfriend,
yeah,
but I don't.
they kind of nixed that in the bud. I'm glad.
No, what's wrong with that?
Uh, I don't think. I don't think I want her to be tied to Static. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't think
What's
that's
wrong with
something
that?
I
You don't
want.
like the milestone brand?
You know,
You
honestly.
know what? Maybe that's time for us to go ahead and just take a little break. You know what? Before things get too heated, we'll take a break and then we'll come right back.
All right, that's cool. All right, hello, everyone. Welcome back to another review with everyone's favorite section of the show, comics. Love those. And
Let's
again,
get into it.
this was another really like big hefty week. I don't know about you, but I actually think it was like because of all the delays that Marvel has been experiencing.
Yeah.
and everything's just getting front loaded because I've had a lot of their books, baby, and I'm like, oh, but it
It's
isn't.
I feel like it's like they're like, you know what, just put it out. Like
Okay.
we can't
What
keep
else are
holding
we
on to
gonna
this
do?
much longer.
Because I was like, oh wow, we're moving. But let's get into it. First up, we got Star Wars Obi-Wan #2. What's up in this?
Yes, and this was written by Christopher Cantwell, who was writing Iron Man, and the art by Luke
Love this
Ross,
book.
with colors by Nolan Woodard. And again, this is, I don't know if you remember when I talked about issue one, and it was about Obi-Wan Kenobi. He is watching Luke Skywalker, and he's basically like reflecting on his past and like, oh, these are like the past adventures that I did in my youth and everything before this moment. And issue one was like him as a kid, and I was like, I don't really know if I'm gonna like this because I'm not trying to read like baby Obi-Wan. Now I realize that they pretty much are. This is only a 5-issue miniseries, so it seems as though they're going to be kind of jumping because this one was more about like young adult um, after episode one Obi-Wan, because this Obi-Wan is like a teenager. He has this fight with Darth Maul. He's reflecting that he actually fought Darth
Ooh,
Maul
I
recently.
like Darth Maul. I
Yeah,
know
he's
him.
super
He's
cool.
the devil, right?
Let's go with it. Sure. Yes, he's got the red face and the horns. Yes. Um, and he mentions that he fought Darth Maul again, which is kind of cool that they added this in the comic because that's not what happened in the movies. He killed him first in the movie, then they
Mm-hmm.
revived him in the animated series, but he's in like by the end of it, spoiler alert, he like got away, and they're saying that he ended up fighting him and killing him again. So
Oh,
I think
okay.
that's kind of cool. Yeah, that they just
We
kind of
didn't get
like
to you didn't get to see the fight.
we didn't get to see the fight. They just brought it back up again. That, oh yeah, he was like, I saw Darth Maul recently and we fought and I took him
Kill.
out. I know.
Yeah.
But I
Period.
mean, I guess we've already seen them fight a bunch of times. Like,
But it's like he could have gotten better. He could have like learned a new skill
this
or
is
something.
true.
He got a new lightsaber. I don't know. I like Darth
This is
Maul.
true.
I
Oh,
wouldn't.
and now that I look at it, I think he's got, I think he's got his metal leg. So yeah, this is right. This is at the accurate time. So I don't know. They should have just showed the fight. But anyway, this is more about like young Obi-Wan. He's reflecting on this mission that he had back in the past with Qui-Gon, his master. They go into this like mining farm for diamonds, which is it's crazy how these things are different out in space. There's like a whole planet that just like has a bunch of diamonds because of like the way that the planet works, and there's miners there. But it's like something happened where the whole planet is now in darkness, and the people won't even survive there that long because like no light is able to get through, and they have this really cool mission that they're trying to go through this darkness. They got these visors on, which so they can kind of see. Their lightsabers aren't nearly as bright. They basically come to learn that like one of the people who was on the at this refinery and looking for these diamonds and stuff, he was like a werewolf kind of creature, and the
Mhm.
darkness like made him go mad, and he like his wolf instincts tapped in, and he was like killing people and slaughtering people, and like Obi-Wan eventually had to like fight him in the dark and take his glasses off and like become one with the Force and do a bunch of really cool stuff there. But they ended up saving the day, and by the end of it, he ends up like turning this machine back on and like using the Force to put these rods back together and put them into this machine. And they turn the lights back on. He like is looking directly at the machine and ends up going blind. So that was interesting to see and see what happened with Obi-Wan. He's again just young and making wild mistakes. So yeah, this is just a fun like added story for Obi-Wan. If you've been watching the Disney Plus show, I know I have. It's over
Oh, there's a
now.
Disney Plus show.
Yeah, the series finale just ended last week. Queen Reva, absolutely love her. I want more of her. She is the woman played by Moses Magnum, the black girl, who
Oh, we love that.
she was so dope. And I've been like following her on social media. They asked her like, if you got to do more of this character, what would you want to do? And she said she played I want to be bad to make it feel so good. And I was like, oh yes. She was like, I want to come back as like a villain. I was like, oh yes, please do that.
Mhm, mhm.
So yeah, this is just an added bonus of extra stuff going on for Obi-Wan Kenobi. So if you're interested in Kenobi, go ahead and check that out. Overall, I would have given this issue like a 3 out of 5. I really like the art, the way that the artist drew everyone fighting in the dark. was really cool.
Yeah.
Um, and again, like this is just more Obi-Wan content.
Okay. Shout out for the Obi-Wans. This is the one he was not played by Liam Neeson in the prequels, right? He was the guy with Liam Neeson.
Cur-
Got
Exactly. And if you
gotcha.
remember what they were looking like, this comic book takes place during that time.
Okay.
So he's
Cool.
drawn that way, like that.
Love that. All right. Cool. Check out Obi-Wan. Next up we have Seven Secrets number 18. And let me tell you right now, you know this is the finale of this book.
Oh, it's ending
It's the
of the
final
series or
issue.
just
The series. It's over. It's done.
damn.
And this is written by Tom Taylor with art from Danielle Di Nicuolo. And I, I really enjoyed this book since the beginning. Like that, like when I read that first issue, I was like, "Oh, this is kind of hot," and like consistently, it's just been better. And I know, I may say some things about Tom Taylor every now and again in his writing, but like I feel like when Tom Taylor is good, he is great. And
Yeah.
I think he works best in those universes where he's not like constricted to the main universe laws, and he can like really go crazy and do whatever he wants with these characters. And obviously, like this is a creator-owned book, so that's exactly what he does. And it was just fantastic. We finally get the full story of Casper and everything. I don't know if you remember at the end, but like he finally died, and he turned into like this big energy being. So we find out that this being is actually a god who back in the day in Atlantis, mind you, was like clear. There was a battle of chaos and order, good versus evil, as there always is, and like this god won. And when he did that, all the people started to worship him. But after that, they started getting crazy, and he's like, they're starting to kill people in my name. They're starting to like attack people because of religion, and he's like, that's what made me realize that like religion is stupid. And so he leaves, and when he leaves, he gives off seven pieces of himself. So he leaves like his immortality, a gateway to different worlds, the enemy who he beat, and that what is the seven secrets that are in the cases that all of the people
Oh,
have been
cool.
holding. And so there was always kind of a notion that this guy would come back and that the god would need to come back and he was going to become Casper's body. And like that's why they were getting him ready. But Casper wasn't ready. And they're like, they just wanted him to be a kid and like enjoy his life for a little bit longer. But finally, they work together. They go to defeat this god. They beat Amon and get Kanto and do all this stuff. And it's nice because Casper has a moment with the god and Amon, and he's basically like, imagine being immortal and having all of this power and thinking that you have to do things like because fate told you to. And he's just like, why do we have to do all of this? And like, why do I have to die? And why do you have to die? And why do we have to do this? And he finds a way to beat them. He takes them to the moon because he can't destroy all the people. He breaks them up into the secrets again, gives them the cases. Casper gets to live and is happy. And when we walk away, he has an eighth case. And somebody's
Oh.
like, what's in the eighth case? And he's like, oh, it's a secret. And I was like, clear.
Oh yes.
Because they're like looking at the case and it's a eight. Well, the guy asks, he's like, is it an eight or is it an infinity symbol? Like, what's going on over there? He's like, it's a secret. Like, can't tell you. And I was just like, yes. And like, he
I
just gets to
love
be
that.
happy. And it was just like a really good ending for like a really feel good story that like had it was like so well drawn the entire time. The emotion was always there. The characters, there was like tons of people of color, black leads, like magic, spy stuff. Like, it was great. It was like a really well done series, and I cannot recommend enough. I would give this issue a 5 out of 5 for sure. I think if you haven't read Seven Secrets, now's the time. I think you guys should tweet the creators nice things about it, not bad, and let them know that you really enjoyed it. I know I tried to, because I did. I can't recommend it enough. I'm actually sad to see it go because I think there was still so much that could be explored. Hopefully, like if things were good for it, there can be some type of spin-off. I think there are so many different worlds like introduced, a lot of characters. Again, we walk away, we have new secrets, we have the cases back. Like, how do we stop this? Like, how do we do it? So get into it. And next up is Aquaman number 5. Oh, my heart.
Ooh,
This is my
okay.
favorite.
Is
And
this
this
the
is
last issue?
no, I think the next one is though.
Oh, it has it reached the point they can add some more or
I mean, I feel like there was this is probably like yeah, this is the shortest Aquaman run I've ever read.
oh wow,
So,
yeah, yeah.
um, but I will say like when you add it in conjunction with his miniseries, some of the stuff that's going on in Dark Crisis. Like, it's good to know that even though the series is ending, they are not ending his story, and he's still gonna have like stuff to do. And he had like a good, it'll be what, 11 issues, almost 12, I think, of like,
Across becoming in this, yeah.
yeah. And so like that's a nice start for him being in his first year as Aquaman. Um, and in this, we have like all the Aqua characters. They're doing this thing. They're trying to stop this one guy. He's activating all of these Atlantean sleeper agents to like go and destroy different places. And so Mera and Jackson are using their aquakinesis together to try and create a tower that'll help them contact him. Black Manta and Aquaman are dealing with Scavenger, who's working for the guy to like steal stuff, and they're trying to shoot him. There's this like really funny scene where Black Manta's about to assassinate him, and like Aquaman's like, hold on, and he like shoots the gun anyway, and he's like, we can't let him away. He gets away, but it's just like really nice to see them all doing that and getting their actions together and working together. Manta like being a part of the Aquaman family is like really interesting to see. Again, like he's always been a guy, he sees Arthur and he's like, no, I'm gonna kill you, but now he's trying to work with him. He also has the added aspect of Jackson, who he like pretends like he doesn't care about, but he actually really does, and he actually really wants him to like think highly of him because he thinks highly of his arch nemesis. And so him trying to win his approval while always doing all these other things that are like clearly going to take it away, it's been a really interesting part for them. Mera and Jackson together is like always really fun because like the Aquaman family like loves Jackson. It's very much like he is our son as well. We're going to do whatever we can to protect him, and like them reinforcing him as Aquaman is cool. By the end of the issue, though, they are not able to contact or find the guy who's activating all of these agents, and it comes to find out that he was gone before they got there. He's actually already in Atlantis, and he's meeting with their politicians.
Thinking ahead.
Ahead. And so the end of the issue ends, he's like, you guys did all of this and you got lazy and blah blah blah. He's like, but the people of Atlantis remember. And then it like looks like he explodes or he does something, he starts to glow really big, and then like the issue ends. And so that's where we are. Again, I think this is a book. It is only going to be 6 issues now, but like it's kind of sad because it's one of those ones that has genuinely increased in quality every single issue. I was saying like how issue 4 was probably my favorite issue that we had so far. Now it's issue 5. Like I really loved everything. I love the way that the characters are coming together. I like really enjoy the art. I think it's kinetic. It moves quick. It's selling like the urgency of everything that's happening in the book, and that's really cool to see. Again, it's really interesting to see Manta kind of softening a little bit. We're used to him just being like evil, as which DC villains are, and I respect them for it. But again, to add that layer, I think if you like their relationship in Young Justice, it also kind of mirrors that a little bit, which that was the time of the book. But I would give this a 4 out of 5 for sure and recommend it to everyone. And speaking of 4s, the next up on our list is X-Men Red number 4. You're still reading X-Men Red, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was that or Immortal you were feeling kind of shaky on. I know you like to shade Al Ewing sometimes, but he does what he needs to.
I don't shade him like that. Al Ewing does what he needs to do. I just said sometimes some books don't last because they end up getting dropped.
Not what you said. But not going to get too heavy into that. We're going to talk about X-Men Red today.
Okay.
This was like a really good issue. In it, we have like Magneto. He is meeting with the Council of Araka, and while he's there, the Great Ring. I could not remember their name just now to save my life. And while he's meeting with them, Storm is in a political meeting with the people of the galaxy. I don't know that. And when that popped up on my page, I was like, "Oh, this is what he loves." I was like, "He's gonna love this." I was like, "He was just," I was like, "He was just shading Al the other day." And I was like, "Crazy!" And I was like, "Look at this. Give him exactly what he loves." And then while that part of the story is going on, we also have we're getting into Sunspot and his resurrection, and he is meeting with the character who is now called Wrong Slide, who was, for those who remember from X of Swords, Santo was killed in Otherworld, and that realized that those deaths mess up the resurrection protocols because it pulls like all the versions of you and like creates something new. And so he's like meeting him. This is the first time we've gotten like a really good look into what that means, and I actually kind of enjoyed it. I won't lie.
Yeah, I did too. I thought that was nice. I don't care about Rock Slide, but it was cool that they added some weight to their story, like them dying in Otherworld and stuff. So,
and it was like nice in the conversation that he was having with Sunspot, where he said,
it was
like when he died, he wanted to die in other worlds so somebody else would come and like be able to live a life. And I was just like, oh my God, that's like so beautiful. And it's
That's
like,
very sweet.
I
That's
really,
different than the rock slide ant, right?
yeah, that
You,
is absolutely true. I think it's also interesting because I think it's like another way to approach death of Krakoa. We have seen the mutants and we know that they don't die, and like we've had a lot of conversations with them about like what it feels like to die or how they shouldn't have to die and like how they would live forever. And again, that was even brought up with Xavier's daughter Sandra in the meeting with Storm and the people, and they were like, if she's a mutant, we can bring her back. But if we bring her back, then we leave the galaxy with this girl who never dies, this never ending immortal ruler, and like new people have to come around and new people have to do things. And I thought like the conversation with Ron Slide like really honed into that. Like Al Ewing is a genius.
he cleared it. Yeah.
He just absolutely gets it, and like Storm and like coming back and just like it doesn't even matter what you guys think because we brought her back anyway already. Like, so she'll be here tomorrow. Like, get ready to work. And then on the other side, again, you have Magneto in the Great Ring, and they're talking about death, and like, you guys are these people who don't die, and it's like we're all about loss, and like, does this make you really strong? And here he goes, he's like, I've got me and Storm's backups right here, the only ones that exist, and he destroys them. And I was like, that's hot. And he was saying, it was like, there's still, again, there are ways for us to come back. That's not a problem. He's like, but it doesn't even matter. We're not gonna die.
Now, did that make you think that one of them is going to die?
Um, Not really. I mean,
I did.
you think Magneto's gonna? Because it'll be Magneto.
Mm-hmm. Well, obviously. I mean,
Oh,
too much
do you think he'll die during Judgment Day?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, can you imagine?
They'll probably obviously bring him back.
Can you imagine like giving that big speech? Oh yeah, da, 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 and then you die like an issue later.
Yeah. Or at least I feel like we're gonna get really close to him maybe dying.
I can see that.
Because
I don't know.
He had his whole like little backup cloud machine right there and just destroyed it. So there aren't any copies. But Ewing made sure to put in that, there are ways for us to still come back. So that makes me think they're probably gonna die. And also, I mean, Storm has never died.
That is true. That is true.
Could be.
I mean, I could see Ewing killing her. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, but me too.
He like if anybody's could do it, it should be him. I will absolutely agree with that. But I don't know. I don't think I see her dying just yet.
I kind of do. And the reason I do is because I feel as though I don't know Ewing. So I could obviously be misspeaking. But for me as a reader, I have been very vocal about the fact that like I've always liked Storm, but Storm has been boring since Claremont left.
Mm-hmm.
But like, and I think the reason Storm was boring since Claremont left was that no one wanted to put Storm through anything. Nobody wanted to like let her do anything. And I think Ewing is someone who is not afraid to let Storm do something and like and put her in those positions where something could actually happen to her. Now, obviously, he's still gonna have her come out on top, but like I could see her dying and obviously being resurrected. Technically, didn't she die in her giant size?
No, I think like she got really close, but whatever they did saved her. Like her whole thing was that she didn't want to die.
They didn't have to, so she didn't crack back out of an egg?
No.
Oh. Yeah, okay. Storm has never died.
They took her to the world and like put her in a thing with like the machines and stuff, and it healed her. She died when she died when the X-Men were when Forge did that spell thing when they fought the adversary.
That don't count. Everybody technically died.
And Roma resurrected.
That don't count.
I was actually just reading that story the other day. I was like, oh, this is hot. I was like, they're not writing like this anymore. But
it was also very like anime in a way, because didn't they all have to like sacrifice a little bit of their like selves and like the power of love and friendship?
Roma popped up and she was like, it's not your time yet. I'm gonna send you to the Outback, and it was iconic.
Yeah.
Also,
That'll
Roma's been
count.
around a lot. It's like so interesting when you think about some of these characters, like you see them afterwards, or like you're reading stories with them now, and then like you go back and you be like, damn, you was there for that. We've been dealing with this a long time, but that's cool. But anyways, I don't know. I don't think she's gonna die. I could see if she does. Like you know, I'm all about a little.
Her resurrection is gonna be hot.
I'm all about shaking the table.
Who do you think is gonna be the one to like be her person that like takes her out of deck?
It would probably be Jean.
Jean.
Yeah, actually, in this era, it might be Emma. I don't know.
Let's not hope that happens. I definitely did not necessarily need. I don't need Wrong Slide going to enjoying the Brotherhood. It seems at the end, after the conversation with Sunspot, he was like, "Oh, what do you think of Araco?" Like he's gonna join the Brotherhood. But I was like, "Where the girls at?
Where are the girls at?" Okay, I was just about to say that. Where's Fantasia?
Give me somebody.
Where is Dr. Eileen? She needs to pop up because this isn't working for me.
I barely cared about Rock Slide.
I don't know. I need some girls, some fun girls.
Still a fantastic issue. I think Storm should get a solo. Everything that she was doing in. I've said that before. Everything Regent Storm.
I know, and it was shocking them too.
Regent Storm, that's what I want to see. Her making these decisions and like her obviously telling them people like, that's great. I'm glad everybody spoke y'all piece.
Fantastic. Like it was everything. And even when Oracle stepped to her, was like, "Oh, if you got something in here," she was like, "Girl, think." Like, who do you think she would call out to?
Please, we've already done it. So yeah, that's what I want to see. That's a Storm solo to me. Her being the Regent of Soul.
Okay. Well, what would you rate
It'll
this
be interesting to see what they end up doing with her afterwards, because how do you go down?
Oh, she can't. Like, she only can ever be like this.
Do you think she could ever be on the X-Men again? Like, do you know what I mean? Like on a superhero team? Obviously, as a cameo, because like that's Storm, but like.
Yeah, but no, I think it's always going to be a thing of like she's too busy. She's doing something else. I think it will be like I think if they do it, if it ever happens, Storm fans will not be happy. There's anything else is a downgrade at this point.
I agree. I think that it's time now for Storm to be like Wolverine. Like she's got her own life outside of like the X-Men now. But she come in every now and again when the sales low.
But I think it's also interesting for her because it's like I was about to say I guess you don't really get to have her like fighting as much anymore. But no, Storm's still been pretty active. Queen, that is my girl. Shout out to her and shout out to Marvel for that because they did that.
And shout out to them truly, like for me anyway, really turning this around and making her like Regent and giving her something. I did not appreciate them just having her be wallpaper.
It was giving Killer off at this. I don't know. What would you rate this issue?
I would give this issue a 4 out of 5 for sure.
Same. I'm also really enjoying the art. Shout out to Caselli. And then Cabal was also here, and we had another guest artist doing the Sunspot stuff. I need to go back, get that name, but like he was like cool too. I think he pulled off the emotion of that. Let me see. Andre, Caselli wasn't even in this one. It was Michael St. Maria. No, he was the colorist.
The colors.
Yeah, Michael St. Maria. All right. Shout out to them.
Okay.
Y'all killed it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Y'all ate that.
Next up, Captain America: Symbol of Truth #2. This is also my favorite book. Shout out to my faves. Shout out to Marvel and DC because when my faves are doing good, They're doing great. Okay. This is another just like a really good issue for Sam. Deadpool guest stars. He goes to like rescue him, and they're trying to look into what people are doing with the super soldier serum and like apparently distributing that across the black market and like getting people sick and dying and all this stuff like that. While that's going on, the guy who's with Crossbones is like, you need to go and kill Captain America, and Crossbones is like, oh yeah, sure, I can do that. But most of the issue is like Sam and Deadpool like trying to get out of this facility where Deadpool was, and they're also talking about all of the stuff that he's looking for. Then Falcon has met with this
Loved
girl.
it.
It was like really. Oh, you read it?
I told you I tapped into this.
Oh
I
my
read the first one. Yes.
god!
Yeah.
Wow. You know, I know you read the first issue, but I didn't really think you were going to continue on. That like made my heart swell up a little bit. Oh my gosh.
Yes, the art was fantastic. I told you I want like superhero action, and this is
Yes.
what
And this is it. This is exactly what we need. You guys heard it. If LZ likes it,
Yeah,
I think
no.
that says okay. I think that says a lot. Um, but again, like yes, it's really amazing issue.
I caught the shade, but that's okay. We gonna keep it. We gonna keep it.
It's a really good book. I think everyone should read it. I think you guys should pick it up. I would give this issue a 4.5 out of 5. I'm almost close to a 5. I'm not gonna lie, but like that the art like really does like
I love, RB Silva's one of my favorite artists.
masterclass. And the writing is really good. I enjoy Sam's voice. I enjoy Deadpool in this. I think a lot of times some writers can like overdo it with like the jokiness and all of that stuff like that. I feel like here it was like enough, but you also still remember that he was dangerous. I really love the stuff with Falcon, and how he was meeting with the girl, and then like how he
His
protected her.
cousin. Yeah.
Yeah, and like
Now, do you think she's gonna have powers? Is this giving, the trope of, oh my God, we're looking for the super soldier serum and we found all these people, but
who
none of them
got it?
survived, but the one.
I guess I was thinking that I was like, what's she about to start doing? But it's like, oh, if she just gets like strength and stuff like that, that's boring. Give the
I
girls
thought
like
that
something.
too.
She,
I thought that too. I was like, that if she just ends up becoming like another super soldier, like we got like enough of those.
we have so many people with enhanced
I don't
strength.
know if the super soldier serum will give additional different powers
Hmm.
than that. I don't know. I also wonder if they're going to if Triple S is going to catch on, because I did find it funny when when he kept saying super soldier serum and Deadpool was like, can we just call this Triple S? Because it's a lot.
It is a lie, and it's like real. It's like okay, or just the serum. We know what you're talking about. We only got one for real, for real.
Yes, I
So
wonder if she's gonna, but if they're gonna be anything different.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. I kind of hope not, especially
Mm.
if she's just gonna get like the basic super soldier abilities. But
If they make her a flying brick, I could be there for that.
we got enough flying bricks.
Not enough doing anything. So
I mean, because they're not needed. The girls aren't fighting. Well, actually, they're fighting here, so maybe I guess she can't take that role.
okay, yes.
Oh, I think I need to get some of my faves in this book. I'm gonna figure out a way. But that's that. 4.5. Pick
I'm
up
actually
Captain
really excited
America.
for the next issue, because by the end of it, they were trying to get this stuff out of Latveria, and of course, Doom shows up, and he's like, "Y'all didn't think you were gonna run around my country, and like, I wasn't gonna be involved."
And he looked good. RB Silva is just like
Very good.
it. Like
Yeah.
Doom, and again, I love Doom, so like I scored a little bit at that. I was like, ooh.
I did. I was like, oh my God.
I was like, yes.
After I got to that, I was like, oh wow, I'm really going up for a Captain America book. Wow.
Welcome to the streets.
I'm here for a bit. I like to dip down in the streets sometimes.
Everybody does. But anyways, let's move on. Now we'll finish off. Oh, well, before we even finish off the list of this week, I did have to. Again, it was a big pull week, so I didn't want to go through everything, but I had to make mentions of a couple. The Swamp Thing number 14 came out from Ranvi and Mike Perkins. Again, like I don't really know how many times I can say that this is like an excellent comic book series. Like in Ranvi is kind of like an excellent comic, right? When like I don't know, I don't know where him and Al Ewing like went to school or like what they did or like what they used to eat when they was younger, but like They're it. They got it. Please pick it up. It's
Mm-hmm.
the excellent number 4 came out. It's from Milligan and Allred. Again, like if you were into their old X Factor, X4 stuff, ecstatic type of things, this is for you. If not, don't pick it up. She-Hulk number 4 finally came out. That was like a super cute issue. Again, like it's really kind of moving Gen forward. Like she had a bunch of the superheroes in her office. She's in her little fight club with Titania. Her and Jack of Hearts are kind of starting to get to the heart of what's going on with him. Like She-Hulk
I like
fans,
Jack.
it's really fun. It's really good. I'm enjoying it a lot. It has everything I need. And then, of course, Avengers number 57 also did come out, which,
My
yeah,
child.
I don't
He
know
doesn't
what
do
else.
anything up over there.
It is like a ridiculous book, but it is so fun. It is just like pure chaos. They're talking about like arcane assassins getting the witch blood. They got these little guns that are like skin, and it's like demon possession. Mephisto's there. They're traveling in time. It's great. It's absolutely love it. Javier
Okay.
Garron's art is like fantastic. Avengers is it. I think the series is actually going to end soon. I know they announced like a new, all new. It's like all action Avengers or something like that. Greg Land's
Oh,
going
I
to be
didn't know that.
drawing it. So I don't know if that is supposed to
Oh.
replace this book, but I hope not because wow.
Mm.
Anyways, and with that, our final book for the week on the list was Action Comics number 1044, and that comes from Philip Kennedy Johnson. Like again, now we're back in space for you.
Now we back in space. Now we back where I want to be. Okay. And again, this was giving. I realize now that like Superman has been on War World for the last like 12 issues, and I have
Mhm.
not gotten tired of it.
Not
I'm
at
not sick
all.
of it.
It's just exciting, and it's like to think. I think this is only like the halfway point.
Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm truly cheering for Super. I really want him to save these people.
It's like
I
really
do.
good. Like this is like what you feel like a Superman book should be about. It's all heart. It's all real. It's him like just wanting the best and the hope and just like why couldn't they do this in a movie?
I know. You would think it would be that easy to do for Superman, and yet here we are. This issue opens with like that, like I call it the Genesis baby. I don't I forget what they were calling it, but like there was this baby that ends up getting like while it was in utero, their parents were by the source wall, and like the source wall has like all of the energy that like
Hmm.
you know energizes everything behind it. And I kind of like that DC has that like as a place where it's like
Hmm.
anytime anyone wants to do anything that requires just like cosmic whatever, just go to the source wall and figure
Yeah.
some stuff out. And I guess in this issue we learned that the reason action man the reason Superman's powers aren't working was because he had some kind of accident at the source wall. I wasn't reading his book before this run, so I'm not sure what exactly happened, but that is kind of what happened with his powers. And we learned that this like Genesis baby can create these other like Genesis stone things that can grant people abilities, and that Mongol was basically using to like
Hmm.
enslave all these people. And they are basically going. The baby is like, I will help you guys get Enchantress back if you help me out. They ended up going and saving Enchantress, which I thought was really dope. And they ended up fighting this like creature thing called Mother, which I thought the whole fight was really cool.
It was.
And
The art's been
yeah,
great in this. Like it feels so episodic and just big, and it's a really nice balance. I'm enjoying it a lot.
yeah. I actually thought it was really kind of cool with what they were doing with Mongol and the girl Light Ray and her girlfriend. I forget the girl's name, but she switched sides basically because she joined up with Mongol
Mm-hmm.
because she wanted to get Light Ray back because Light Ray was killed. Light Ray, I
Mm-hmm.
guess, is still like kind of fading at life. She's almost dead. And I think her name was Leah. She was like, I will help you out if you help me. But like, I guess the thing that was going to resurrect Light Ray couldn't do it. And Mongo ended up killing that thing right then and there. And the girl was like, "What the fuck are you doing? You were supposed to like bring her back." And then Mongo like pushes her aside and was like, Don't ever ask me to do anything. Like I can do whatever I
it,
want to do.
it never pays to betray your team, people. Stay loyal to your team.
Stay loyal, people, because he ends up getting this staff and like uses the staff to bring Light Ray back to life, and now she's like this possessed version of herself, who we're obviously going to see fight back in the next issue. So, again, I love this book.
Really good.
5 out of 5.
Yeah, I think I would actually agree, and I think I would like consistently put it there. I think this is getting honestly into kind of Swamp Thing Ran V territory for me, where it's saying just I don't know what else you want me to say. It's good.
Yes. And then there was that backup story in the back where back on Earth, Lois, Steel, and Kara are trying to help. I forget her name. The black girl.
Tala.
Who is Oh yeah, Tala. She's like, I guess her body is trying to absorb Genesis energy, and they need it, but like it's also like destroying her at the same time. So they haven't really sure how to figure out how to help her. But Kara like flies her to the sun to hope that like that would help her because of her Kryptonian like powers. But again, I'm liking it. I don't know what's gonna happen with that girl afterwards, but
I think she might become part of the Superman family. You know,
I'm looking. I might understand.
Yeah, I can already see it. I don't know. Did you read the Future State stuff they did?
I don't think so.
So in the Future State stuff that Philip Kennedy Johnson wrote, they went to the future obviously, and they had the Superman family, and there were some black kids in it.
Oh.
Yeah, and they like their names were Kent. They were like the cousins.
Oh.
Yeah, so I think she might be the predecessor of all of them.
I might like her. Yeah, I like the book a lot. Action Commons is fantastic.
Read it. Fantastic book. But those are the books of the week.
All right, let's go ahead and get into the book club. Now, this month we switched things up and we switched over to the new X-Men. Since last month we were doing some stuff with Thor, which should be interesting since that movie comes out next week. To see how that kind of like feels after just reading the book.
I completely forgot that movie comes out next week. I haven't bought my ticket.
Yeah, I know, right? Me neither. I'm not like super excited. I don't know. It's honestly it's because we read the comic. I'm just like, I don't know if this is gonna give that. And especially it's giving like Ragnarok 2.0.
I just think about like Chris Pratt has been in the media a lot lately, and he's kind of unlikable. And I remember that like he's on this stuff because he's in that movie, and I'm just like, oh, I really don't want to see him.
Yeah. I forgot he's in that movie now.
Like, I do not like the MCU Guardians. I do not want to see them in anything.
Me neither. Oh no, that's unfortunate. Well, we'll see. But anyway, we switched over to New X-Men, and we read the first 3 issues written by Nunzio De Filippis and Christina Weir. And the art kind of switched up. The first, I forget who did the first issue, but the art for the issues kind of switched up. And I have to say, this brought back some memories because I remember reading this when this came out. I remember I had to be like, I don't know, 15, maybe 16, something like that, very young. And I remember reading this, but I also have to say, oh no,
it's a product of its time. I will say
these kids don't got
it. All of them did not. Most of them, some of them do.
Most of them don't. I have to say that, like, reading these first 3 issues, I still really like Sophia Wind Dancer.
And
I don't know why she didn't. What did you say?
She flopped the hardest.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, she did flop the hardest. But out of all of them, I think I like her the most. Her and Elixir.
But you know what? Anyway, so you know what's the thing that took Sophia down was because she got depowered, and then they went and put her on that New Warriors team with Jubilee with all the other depowered mutants, and that was like a really bad book. And like that
book was bad for her.
And
but
like,
I mean, good for her for getting off the X-Men stuff.
No, that was worse. The New Warriors is a fate worse than death. I think I would rather be an X-Man.
Fair, especially right now. They don't do anything with the New Warriors.
And like, think about Sophia. Like, you reading her in this book, and she's supposed to be this young, pretty bad bitch, and she's got like these long brown locks. She has wind powers. Her hair's always blowing. They like shaved off all her hair for that New Warriors book.
Yeah, they gave her a pixie cut and those like tentacle things. She didn't have any powers there.
It
But
was
I mean, that's better than she may have flopped, but she's way better than Prodigy and Pheromone Girl.
First of all, don't ever disrespect Wallflower. She is amazing. All right,
Oh
she
my
is
gosh, she's
that
terrible.
girl.
Pheromone Girl
She
is
is that
useless.
girl. She is that girl. Okay.
A strong breeze and you're useless.
She is shy. She's shy, and she has one of the best character arcs out of this entire book.
Well, maybe we'll see that as we keep going. Because again, I remember when
As
I was
she
reading
t- Oh yes, because we're only going over the first 3 issues right now. So yes, in the first 3 issues, I will give you, she is not up to par. She is a very quiet girl, but that we'll come to find out that's because of her upbringing, her parents. I'll let the people know that right now, and
okay,
that's it's better
we'll
from
see.
that. She comes out of her shell, but these first few issues, yes, she's a little different.
Meek.
But that's fine.
I remember now. I remember reading this back in the day when I was a kid, and this came out, and I think I didn't connect too much with this group of kids anyway because they feel like flops. Like, what they gonna do? What is Pheromone Girl gonna do?
And we'll come to find out later on as we continue reading.
What is Prodigy gonna do? I didn't know he was from Chicago. I let everybody know he does not represent us.
Prodigy, I will give you. Prodigy is a little bit of an embarrassment. I'll let you have that one completely and 100%.
Like, he was so corny in these first 3 issues.
But I will
also
say,
oh my God, I don't want to be an X-Men. I want to go back and study. Shut up.
But they're kids. They don't really. These are the things they have to come to. Okay, Prodigy had potential, and then like he joined the Young Avengers, and they just took him in a completely different route.
Potential before that.
Everything. He was gonna be like one of the leaders of the X-Men.
Doing what?
Everything.
Reading people, telling people what they could do.
That's not what his power is.
That's right. He reads books.
He absorbs the knowledge that the people have and like their abilities. So it's like he can fight because of Wolverine and Kate and all of them. He's very tactical. He has all these different things. He's very great at leading.
But then we saw when he was in the danger room with the Sentinels, he couldn't do anything because there were no abilities
for him to be there. Well, he doesn't take people's powers. I mean, it's not his fault that people around him aren't smart. I'm sorry. But do y'all know he hadn't been around anybody yet? Once he starts walking past the right people, then we'll be fine.
Wow.
Get me in the room and then I can get to work, okay? That's all we need. Nonetheless,
I think it was cool when they were designing their costumes and he said like, oh, I would like to add like a little visor that had like a little HUD or something on it. That would be cool.
Yeah.
He's the guy in the chair.
The first 3 issues. You have to give them
right. Right. It was interesting a lot to be back at the school. So we haven't been there in a long time. Like,
I know.
It's been a while. And I will say, there is no reason why they can't do this on Krakoa.
There's not. They really just don't want to give these kids a book. Like, true. But again, like, I'm also very much in the belief that if the new X-Men or any type of the young students get together again, I don't think it should be these groups of kids. I think these groups of kids should all be, like, moving forward, being on other teams, doing other things. I think if there's going to be a new X-Men group, it's, like, whoever is after them. And I think that was
I agree.
The Jean Grey students. Don't nobody want to read about them.
Eye-Boy and Shot Girl?
Yes, exactly.
That's all I got. I don't remember who else was on that.
I think Nature Girl. But she's like crazy now, so.
It's flop after flop after flop. Wow. But yeah, I thought these first 3 issues was interesting to see when they got to make their costumes and all the interactions they had with each other, and just to be back at the school was interesting. like you said, I don't know if they ever got these kids back together, they don't need to do this again because what's the point? You did this already. Like,
Agreed.
we do get to see the squads being built out, which is fun. People like
I love
different
Squad.
stuff. That was cool. I thought it was interesting that the teachers picked the code names for all of the students. I thought the students picked their own names. I didn't know that
Again, they don't know anything. They.
Yeah, this was a different time. But I'm excited to continue reading more of this. Again, waking up some stuff. I remember like back when I was reading this, and I don't remember if I know for a fact I don't think I read all of this straight through. Like I think I was reading, it was kind of spotty. Like I'd read like the first 3 issues and then come back for some and like just random issues here and there. I don't think I read this all the way through. So
Okay.
but so far, I don't know, y'all. These kids kind of flops.
It's the first 3 issues. We'll continue on and we'll see lots of other things. We'll get lots of development. It's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah, hopefully Pheromone Girl gets it together. But Wind Dancer, she's the one.
Oh, Wind Dancer. She's okay. Anyways, those were the books of the week in the book club. Let's go ahead and take a break and then we'll come back.
Let's do it.
All right, hello, everyone. Welcome back to another review, and today, or no, another watch. Excuse me. Oh, I guess it's also still a review. They're all reviews in a way.
Yeah.
This week we are discussing Miss Marvel episode 4, and I'll be honest with you, it wasn't my favorite.
Oh no, it's clicking down.
I wouldn't say yes. This episode did click down for me. I don't know. I think a big part of this series and what I've liked about it, again, as I've said, is like Kamala and the stuff about family and just culture. And I feel like I still really enjoy a lot of that. Like them going to Pakistan was like really nice. Her meeting the people was nice. Learning more about the Bengal and the clandestine was already nice. I did feel like this episode was moving extremely fast though. We were jumping from like point A to point Q really quickly, and I was just like, whoa, okay. And I think that was.
I mean, when they said last episode that they were gonna have to come to Karachi to meet up, I'm like, we going to what?
Yeah, and it was like, and we started the episode, she on the flight. I'm like, oh, how did she like convince her mom to do this? Like, what was going on? What was the conversation? They just, I was like, okay, whatever. But I guess we'll just go with it. Again, we do only have 6 episodes. So, just kind of getting into that, like, I felt like the pacing, like, just really kind of threw me off of what we've been getting. And then I feel like, obviously you gotta satisfy the action girls. I am one myself, so I know like how important that can be. And so I feel like they really wanted to give us a lot of that here and show like fighting. But I feel like the thing about Kamala is like we know that she's not really the big fighter action girl that we always see. And I feel like those stuff that we had gotten before was enough to really show you that okay, this is like what she can do. This is where we're at. She's a kind of like cool little superhero doing her little natural stuff. And like now we just moved over and she beating ass. Well, not really beating ass, but like
I was gonna say she was getting her little ass beat.
But like people who should really be able to like beat her ass are like kind of struggling a little bit. And so I was like, oh, okay, that's cute and fun for her. And I like that they did train her a little bit on the powers, which I also again I thought that was like very quick. But she also did some training of her own. So I say I guess if we combine the two, that's enough to put her where she's at.
Yeah, but, I thought it was cute. I thought it was cute with the stuff where she was fighting Red Dagger in this episode. Obviously, like getting into the story of it, she goes back to Karachi. Then she's hanging out with her cousins, and I thought this part was a little convenient. They were like, oh, okay, like we've done at all these shops. Let's go meet up with some friends for coffee. And she was like, oh no, I want to go to the train station where like Nani came, and then they were like, all right, bye. And I was
like they just left her there. Like she was finding everything super convenient. I was like, this is crazy. I was like, we're just like moving.
I was like, okay, it's gonna leave her there, cool. But I thought the fight that she had with Red Dagger was cute because the moment where she was like running up the little light steps and he was like she was like, "Where'd you learn to fight?" Like the Ninja Turtles, and she was like, "Where'd you learn to fight?" Donkey Kong. I mean, it truly
Okay.
did look like that's what she does. Like
She was
she
just like
fights like
boom,
a
boom,
video game
boom.
character.
It was like cool, but it was like super cute again. And I'm still very much an advocate for giving Kamala her MCU powers in the comic books. I'm sorry, and this issue really
I
did just
agree.
drive that home for me. I was like, oh yeah, she needs them. She's still doing her little stretchy hands. I love the
Yep.
little steps that she was doing. She makes her little force fields or whatever. I was like, it's given.
I liked it all.
I'm here for it. I love the history it ties to her powers, and I know a lot of people were worried about the power change because there was the story about her, I guess, was just very important with like the stretchiness and all of that. But like this series has done a fantastic job of tying her history and her family lore into those powers, and it's like kudos to them for that. I'm never gonna take that away from them. I really enjoyed it.
I agree. And like after the fight that she had with Red Dagger, and they meet up with Waleed, and he tells her like the whole story of how the clandestines are from this other like dimension. It's basically like on the top of our dimension. There are a bunch of dimensions that have this, and
Oh,
she's connected to the Noor. He like puts on this whole like PowerPoint presentation basically in front of her to see this, which I thought was very convenient that they just had
mhm.
that. But
We had to move quick.
we got we got
We got 2 episodes left. We gotta get to it. Like you just got to deal.
and every time they like brought her around, Waleed would just be like, "Oh, you have the Noor," and because you're from this dimension, but your genetics connect you to the other one. That's why you can summon the Noor with that bangle. And I was like, okay, this is just explaining everything fairly quickly. Just we all right. She got the powers, but I personally prefer this backstory for Kamala over the comic book one. I know that's blasphemous for people to say, but
I respect
personally, I think it's a better one for her backstory because it's not even an anti-inhuman thing for me because I like some of the Inhumans. Crystal's cool, but like they kept the core story of Kamala and getting her powers through genetics and it coming from this like otherworldly thing. But this one, it really is genetics to her like family and really emphasizes like her family over just being a
it.
superpowered creature and a human. And I think that's a better story for Kamala. It hits better, in my opinion, to like make this like a family thing. And I mean,
I
like, who was thinking about the clandestines? Nobody. So,
Oh man, I wasn't. I think it is a better story, and I am also anti-inhuman, so it's a win-win for
and there you have it. You
me.
know, for the people who are anti-inhuman, and I know for a while people who like Kamala but didn't like the Inhumans. For a while, they wanted to make her a mutant or anything to pull her away from it. Well, now you go. There you go. She
Period.
is. She is now that.
um, I
I
did again.
and escape when they were fighting the Department of Defense Control. It did look
Mhm,
a little cheap when they were like fighting
mhm.
with their handcuffs tied to the ceiling and stuff. I was like, all right,
Well, it's the MCU.
Disney Plus anyway.
Anyways, the mother of the show continues to be a standout star.
The mom is great, yes. You really don't want to give the MCU anything for the CGI. I mean, damn, I don't know what's worse. That's my thing, is what's worse? There are a lot of things that are worse.
I mean, there are. I'm not. I never said there
What's
weren't.
better?
Did you see the preview for James Cameron's Avatar 2?
Yes.
That was really good CGI. Did you see everything all everywhere all at once?
I did actually. I saw it
That was really
last
good
weekend.
CGI.
Took myself
I
on a go
actually
see.
I cried when I watched it actually. Like a couple of times. Like I found myself sobbing and I was like, I don't know what's wrong with me.
There were moments
Like
in it that it just hits where it's
I
like,
was
wow,
this
nothing really
is
fucking matters.
I was like, this is so beautiful. Oh my god. Oh my gosh! Shout out to that entire cast. They really sold that. Like everyone, if you haven't seen that movie yet, please go and
And
see
I'm sorry, I'm gonna pull over for a second with that movie. I don't care what the movie said, but that man movie ruined that lady's life.
it. No, he did, but that wasn't the point. He had to let her know that he would gladly ruin her life in every universe because like that mattered to him.
But clearly,
It
every
was
time he went around, she was living a fantastic life.
that wasn't
But
the point.
he was unhappy.
But back to Kamala, who is happy, or she's like finding happiness. By the end of the episode, they're like fighting the clandestine, and Namja stabs the bangle, and it opens up the portal, and she gets teleported. It seems like to the past, and
Yeah.
we're at the train where I'm assuming she's gonna meet Aisha.
It looked like we saw a little, like her mom.
Was that her when
I
she
think
was
that
like
was,
hugging her?
yeah, I think there was like a little girl and like her mom who walked past, and I think that was supposed to be.
I like
I,
looked at because it did feel like very much like these are important characters. They look extremely different from everybody else. They're like doing
right,
different things
right,
from everybody else. Like we're focusing in on them. It was kind of like, oh, this seems important, but I was like, I can't tell why just yet.
right. And I think the girl was like saying like mom or whatever, and then like, oh, we need to catch this train. So
Yeah, okay, that would be cute. I love the mother. She's great.
mhm. Yeah, but I think it's Aisha and her nanny,
Oh,
right? Yeah, I think it's those two.
I don't know. I
Like her
guess what
grandma, her great
everything's
grandma.
just moving so fast. It was like, whoa,
I
whoa,
know.
whoa.
But we'll see. I mean, these you know how the MCU is with their shows. The last two episodes are where things really hit the fan. So I think this next one will be
We'll see. Oh my God, that makes sense because I don't think I like that fourth episode of Moon Knight either.
no.
That was a lot of Layla too. I do not like her.
That's the doll. So we will standing when she appears again. Love that costume. Love her.
Well, Kamala, it looks
Yeah.
like she's getting closest closer to her MCU costume as well. She had her little mask on, which was like very cute to see.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the rest. I'm excited to see how it turns
Yeah.
out. I do still like the
I
show.
want
This
to
was
put
like,
costume on next episode or 6.
gosh, I hope it's the next episode. I'm really tired of these people putting them on the last one,
Mm.
but we'll see.
Doing that build up for a lot of these shows makes it harder to go back and watch them from
Agreed.
beginning to end because it's like, okay, well then that means only the last 2 episodes are the ones I really like.
That's all I want to watch.
That's why I hope as they go move forward with a lot of character. I realize that some of these characters are new to the MCU, but like they're not new to us. I hope that like they can just start jumping straight in. Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll find out when we go to San Diego Comic-Con and D23. What they
Coming up
announce.
soon. Coming up soon.
We'll see.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of the show. Please make sure you guys rate and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. We really appreciate all the love and support. You can find us at Another Relaunch. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at Another Relaunch. You can email us whatever kind of stuff you want to email us at anotherrelaunch@gmail.com. If you want to watch us, we're on YouTube at Another Relaunch TV. You can find me on most socials at UncannyLZ. Keenan, where can they find you?
You guys know you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Keenan Lance. As always, there's an underscore at the end.
All right, y'all. Let's get up out of here and we'll catch you next week.
Peace.
Out.